You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Hello, we're really happy today to welcome Stuart Parvin to our shop in Bradford-on-Avon. He's come here today to talk about the O15 collection and introducing each gown to us, explaining the inspiration behind his collection.
This year we sort of wanted a slight different, more cutting edge appeal, and there's always a 50s sort of influence, but we wanted more than that. We wanted a sort of a more ballet orientated Margot Fonteyn sort of twist on that sort of classic Audrey Hepburn look, with sort of taking you through slightly to more 70s feel as well. So we've got new textures in different forms of chantilly lace. We've got softer silhouettes. We've used a moss crepe under the lace to give a softer silhouette. So it's all about slight tweaks and changes on things that have gone before, improving our fit to make it even better, and just using the most beautiful cloths.
So it's not just about what we see on the outside, but it's what you're doing underneath as well and inside the dresses.
It's very much about what goes inside the dresses, because they're not stiff, they're not too rigid. So it takes away some of the formality from the dresses, making them easier to wear. It makes them softer, it makes them more comfortable, and it gives them a fluidity that perhaps they didn't have in previous years. In this dress, which is all-time high, you have the sort of incredible sort of Sabrina silhouette in a corded lace with a dupion overskirt. But if you let me take the overskirt off, you see you've now got a simple column silhouette.
Stunning.
But if you didn't want to take the overskirt, it works wonderfully to make a really simple, understated look by adding a little ballet cardigan. Ribbons on this can also be done in any of the seasonal colours that we've got.
That's completely transformed that dress, hasn't it, Stuart? It's really taken it to a very relaxed, informal.
Exactly. It gives you a much more low-key, sort of informal look.
Stuart, this I think was my favourite dress from the collection, New York State of Mind. I absolutely adore it. Tell us a little bit about the sort of bride that you imagine wearing this dress.
This dress, I think, really it's a very fashion-forward dress. It's a very regal-looking dress in some ways, yet it has an informality about it. So at the moment we've got it with a new Henrietta jacket, which can be taken off. So I think this is the kind of dress you would wear, as it is, for a very grand wedding, big church wedding, where you want to be fully covered. Now the jacket is in a beautiful French lace, but the bodice of the dress is made in the same lace, but it's all been beautifully twinkled and sparkled and beaded for us especially. So we could also do the jacket with a 3/4 length sleeve, a cap sleeve, just to cover the areas that are needed to be. But then you can remove the jacket so simply, and you have just the most beautiful silhouette, I think. It's simple, it's elegant, it's something. You've got the little gathers on the dirndl kind of skirt and the draping on the waist, and then you have a pocket. And the pocket just gives you that wonderful informality. It changes your posture when you're standing there, and you can lounge rather loosely in it, which is maybe not what you expect from a bride. It gives you somewhere to sort of slouch and be very sultry. Within one dress, you get two very, very different aspects.
What shapes would it work on?
It works on, with this we can convert it into a slightly sweetheart as well. So it works on some with a bust, without a bust. What you have to have is a proportionally small waist, because it's a very wasted dress. So if you're very straight, that's not the dress for you. But if you come into a tiny waist, then the big skirt, I think anything can be going on beneath the skirt line, but provided
the eye is drawn in.
Yeah, the eye is drawn in, and it takes the waist, the eye to the waist, and then the pockets also, and the hands and the pockets really accentuate that. So this dress is One Moment in Time, which is our very latest silhouette. It's fitted through to the top of the hip, then it flares up very gently on each of the princess seams, giving it more fluidity at the hem. You've got a really lovely full skirt. And this one is done in the most amazing corded beaded lace.
Quite exquisite.
It's absolutely beautiful. But it's not vulgar, it twinkles beautifully. And we've put it with the Margot belt, which just sort of draws your eye to the waist.
I love the relaxed skirt. I think that's fabulous.
This is also a case of where we've done something new with the petticoats, because we put a soft a soft circular petticoat rather than a heavy tiered petticoat, which gives you this lovely drape on the skirt. It gives a fluidity and a movement, which is all kind of going towards our sort of ballet theme.
Yes.
And it just makes for a less rigid look, I think. And
again, a sort of an effortless feeling to wear, I would imagine.
oh yeah, no, it's much lighter than the bigger skirts. It's a very flattering shape. It works on almost every figure. Another beauty actually of this particular beading is that at the day during the ceremony, it's going to catch the light a little bit, but it's when it comes out at night and you have all the candlelight at the reception, it really twinkles beautifully.
So the next one is Uptown Girl. This seems to me very different to some of the others, a much softer look.
It's a very much softer look. It's got a corset shape that we've used before, which has been really popular. It is slightly higher at the front, giving you a longer leg, then dropping down at the back, could give you a longer line through the curve of the back into the bottom. But it's done in layers of chiffon, which is pleated onto the hip line, giving you a really soft, very sort of Swan Lakey 50s feeling.
It does have a balletic feel to it, doesn't it?
And we've done a very, very neat, tight ruching with chiffon. And the little straps, which are optional, you could do it without those, giving you a very sort of, if you do it without the strap, you have a very sort of Victoria Beckham kind of pointed scoop neckline. But I think that's just so soft, it's so gentle. It works beautifully with a little beaded ascot lace jacket or a shoulder strap.
Yeah.
You can put the ballet cardigan with it, or just wear it as is with a very simple Aphrodite veil. Talking.
And if somebody's a pear shape, would this dress work on a pear-shaped hip?
Great for a pear shape.
Right.
I mean, great for a pear shape. Great for somebody with almost with no hips. I think it's the structure is in the corset, so you're drawn in at the waist, and then you have this beautiful, really voluminous skirt with meters and meters of gorgeous silk chiffon in it, and then it's lined with a satin lining.
Stuart, this next dress, Love and Affection, which sort of bride were you imagining as you designed this one?
I think this could be a beautiful young girl, sort of one of the first girls in her group to get married. I think it's really romantic, it's really pretty, it's got the beautiful French lace, it's got the gorgeously structured Duchess satin bodice down into a really deep V, you've got an open back, you've got the tiny bias binding
sort of fresh
around
and young,
the neck.
isn't it?
I think it's very glamorous, but it's princessy, it's girly, it's got like a tutu built into it, so it gives that sort of big volume at the hip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very sort of fashion-forward dress. It's someone who wants that sort of kind of Dior new look, sort of very couture look, the sort of John Battista Viali kind of feel.
So they're making their own statement ahead of all their friends.
Exactly. There's light organza over taffeta, and there's a Duchess satin underneath the French lace. But you can put whatever jewellery you like with it, so you can accessorise it beautifully. You could do gloves with it, you can do a veil with it, you can change the earrings, you could have really bold earrings, you could have tiny pearl studs. However you wear it is going to sort of reflect your personality.
And your own sense of style.
Exactly.
I think what we find so fabulous working with your collection is that you offer brides so many choices.
Absolutely.
On a particular dress, and throughout the whole collection.
I mean, I think it's really important that with a dress you come in and you see how I envisage it.
Yeah.
But I see it in a general terms. I don't see it for a specific girl. So when I see girls myself, I then say, oh, well, actually, if we could just change this, and I always want to be able to offer that. And because every dress is made for you, we don't have any dresses hanging there in a warehouse somewhere. They're all created by one seamstress for each individual bride. So there is the option of changing the fabric, of changing the neckline. Yeah.
And like all good fairy tales, we end up on happily ever after.
Of course we do. This is the prettiest, softest. We've got the twinkly lace. We've got layers of tulle over layers of net. And then I've accessorised it with two different colour ribbons. We've got an antique rose and a sable ribbon, which we've wrapped round, twisted at the front, and then placed a beautiful trembling hair clip on there, which just adds to the sort of the romance, the glamour, the ballet. It's got all of the things that the collection's about this season.
And the girls, when they come in and see us for their appointments, they're always saying to us, we want something that's different.
You could change the skirt to the organza that we had on the previous dress, or you could put a full circle organza skirt on it. So within this dress, there's an immense amount of changes you can make. It's classic, but it's really of the moment. It's newer, it's fresher, it's softer, and it's very light as well.
Stuart, it's been a fabulous afternoon, really informative, and we're very excited about these gorgeous new dresses. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for coming to spend this time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. I lost love before, got mad and closed